Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Final Watch It, where James Cope has been talking to himself for the past 20 minutes. I think he's still
on mute.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
No,
Okay. No, he was just actually being quiet for a moment. Okay, gotcha.
Laughing to himself in the distance.
We are here, as we are every week, to review whatever's going on in Nerd. This week we're going to be finishing up the last 3 episodes of the Ironheart series on Disney Plus. Matt and I reviewed it with James's call-in 4.5 no notice for the first 3 episodes.
Yep.
And,
perfect episodes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Near perfect.
Near perfect. Yeah, almost.
Yeah, too short. They were too short. They were too short.
Yeah,
like
too short. That's
my only notes was more, please, more.
Make sure that you guys like, subscribe, and follow. And also, just a quick little teaser. Next week, we will be giving you guys information. We're getting into the 3D printing and the print media business. So, Print Goblins will be our sponsor starting next week. But here's a little teaser of some cool stuff that we got in the works right now. Iron Man, we got some Doom masks. We got some Fantastic Four coasters we're going to be showing off. So, all kinds of cool stuff. That'd be right up your alley. You one person watching, which is probably Matt's wife.
No, it's not.
She gave up on us too.
Yeah.
Okay, it's gonna be our producer. That's gonna be it. But yes.
I think this actually could be the most important episode we've done in a while, because one of us has been waiting like 4 fucking years to have this conversation,
Since the beginning
and now the moment's here.
Since the beginning of the Disney Plus journey, Marvel journey, we've been waiting for this. So,
Hey, well, if you have a mouse in your pocket, like now,
I have everyone in the internet in my pocket.
Well, that's the thing. I really liked your pitch originally of like, who's the big bad in this? Mephisto. This whole time, like it was going to be like Loki. We talked about it with Loki. That's a great fit. We talked about it with
WandaVision.
WandaVision. It's going to be Mephisto's manipulator. That would have been I would have loved. Had that been a comic, I would have loved the shit out of that guy. Like each time you pitched it, it kind of felt like an end panel comic reveal, which I thought was great. We finally got a Mephisto. How are your feelings? What are your thoughts and feelings about this Mephisto that you've been waiting years for?
Well, I will still say that I think missed opportunity, especially if you were going to split this up the way that you did, not showing him at the end of episode 3. I think that was a big miss, because that would have been, the internet would have been talking about it all week. You know what I mean? And then anyone who hadn't watched the show would go watch the fucking show and be here for these 3 episodes. So I think that was a missed opportunity. That being said, well, like I'm telling, Sacha Baron Cohen as Mephisto, I think is perfect. I loved it. Was so subtly done, but not, like we were talking before the show. It wasn't this, blink and you missed it, Mephisto was here, kind of a thing. Like he actually had great scenes in this, I think, and felt very tricky devil. You know what I mean? Like, and so I think it was definitely one of the highlights of this show for me. It made me want to see more to do with him in the Marvel Universe. I want to see him interacting with more people in the Marvel Universe 100%.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead. No, you go.
All right, never cared for Mephisto because he's just the devil. Like for me in comic book writing, it's the laziest and it's I had the issues also with Thor. I had the issue with Loki. I had the issue with so many the comic book characters. When reading in comics, the ones that are pulled right from other things, not super interesting. Every time, Robin Hood showed up in a comic book, which he did every now and again. Thank you, 1960s and 70s. He would steal from the rich because that's what a Robin Hood does. And what does the devil do? He makes tricky deals. And so for me, it's always kind of like I've never cared for it. Having said that,
but it's a classic. It's a classic. Maybe trope, but it's just a classic thing in storytelling. I mean, it's so many.
Absolutely, the devil will show up somewhere in everything, be it Star Trek, Star Wars, any sort of a devil.
I find it interesting, like that thing, like Thor, like the comic book Thor and your Norse god Thor, very different. There's very different things about that. And I like with Mephisto too. Yes, he's Marvel's version of the devil, but he's interacting with superheroes, so you get to see that kind of thing. And so that I find more of the differences that they do interesting than the similarities, I guess.
My biggest problem with how he was handled in this was I thought the costuming and look was lazy. And as soon as he showed up and they just had him in a cool shirt and shit, and I was just like, lame. And then, but then we got to that, and we'll go into our review. We got to the final episode, and I forgot about it, which is a compliment to the episode, where it was like, I want to see my superheroes and supervillains in costume. I don't want to see them pulling this Iron Man 3 shit where I get to run around with my mask off and a gun because I'm the biggest star in the universe right now. Like, I'm kind of done with that. So that's for me was the biggest misstep.
And I didn't go back and look at it, but apparently during his scene, there's a reflection of him in a spoon.
Yeah, when he stirs his coffee,
and you can see his actual.
Yeah, you see the red. You see the red.
Oh, really? I didn't catch that. I didn't catch
that. That is a blink and you'll miss it type thing. Yeah, it's the full red face Mephisto that everybody knows from the comics.
Yeah.
Okay.
And since he wasn't the big bad, since he was just kind of the facilitator of everything, rather than like your main like conflict villain within this series, I think it's okay to kind of save him for that. You know what I mean? I think if I would have seen him do a whoa and turn into the devil, and all of a sudden she's got to fight the fucking devil at the end, it would have been a little too. I like it when
it's too cartoony, but I mean, I need to hear the Green Goblin say, "I'll get you next time, Spider-Man." Like, I need to hear some of that.
I get it.
And so it's like, he's the fucking devil. Put on the goddamn red costume. I don't care if Borat fucking puts on a red costume and a little clown outfit. Like, I wanted to see something that identified. I didn't catch the spoon thing. Would have made me happier, and I didn't see that.
Yeah,
so
I wish I would have caught it. I wish they would have at least lingered on it enough that we, would have been something like that.
It's comics. Part of it is theater. Part of it is theatrical. Part of it is very big, and it's like I get everybody wanting to be cool, but
Well, the reason why I didn't want her to have to fight the devil at the end or whatever, have this big, devil battle thing, is because like the first Suicide Squad movie, like they had no business fighting the villains they were there. Like, they were far too powerful, and then they end up winning. And I like it when it's like, oh, she's fighting other villains that are on her level. You know what I mean? She's new at this. She's got a suit, but you know what I mean? It's still a work in progress. I enjoyed that.
I started at episode 3, and I sent you guys a message because I swear to God, I saw that exact same episode as a Blossom episode in the 90s, like where it was like, it's just two teenage girls talking about their problems, two 20-year-olds playing teenage girls talking about their problems with the world around them. And I was like, Jesus, put a flower hat on. Is the character's name Ray Ray?
Riri, and
Riri.
But Natalie actually dresses more like Blossom in this show.
Yes,
that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Or Six, maybe that's her friend Six or whatever.
Yeah, and I know he's not the big bad, but honestly, I would argue the big bad for this show is plot devices. Plot devices, fucking done every time you turn the corner. My favorite moment. We'll get on to our pros and cons. My favorite moment was like when Magic killed the AI character, I think in episode 5, and I was like, wow, how are they going to explain this? We're not. Fuck you. Like, it was just like, Magic did the AI away. It's just okay, cool. Everybody made it home by 5 that day? Did everybody make it home by 5? Good, because you didn't write anything for us to watch.
No,
that would have been great had you written something for us to watch.
I'll push back on that because they did explain that. But ahead of time, the girl tells her, right? She's all, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Because magic always has a cost, and the cost
it's got a cost. That's great.
So the magic.
All right, I guess that is an explanation.
You know what I mean?
It magicked away an AI. Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's all right.
But they've already explained in this Marvel universe that is how magic works. Like in all of the Agatha stuff that we just watched, that was a big point of it. Is like, hey. This magic all magic or the evil magic at least has a cost.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem like the Doctor Strange magic has much of a cost. It's more of a discipline. You know what I mean?
I just thought we were going to get more of an explanation than the magic killed the AI, and we don't know why. That's what happened. And
wanna
it's just
talk-
like you
Well-
lose some, you gain some.
Okay, so I made this point last time.
All right.
I was worried that they would start this thing about the AI and what it was trying to show with this particular AI and having sentience and everything else like that and being a real type person, and they wouldn't conclude it. And that's exactly what happened, is they didn't conclude it.
But didn't they conclude it? Because
No.
she made the deal at the end, or she made
That's
the
not
she made a deal with the devil and brought her friend back to life.
no.
I
That's
guess.
not. That's not AI. That is Natalie.
Yeah.
At the end of the series, that is actually the actual real Natalie brought back to life.
I don't know that we know that because
Okay.
because Mephisto is the one in the comic books who created the kids out of nowhere.
Yes.
Like, did he just bring her back to life, or is it all just the bullshit?
Or is that a
thing from
demon?
the devil?
Yeah, is that like a spy?
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair, but she says one very particular thing is where she asks where her dad is. Or where Ray is. Sorry. She asked where Ray is because she's brought back from the point where she was shot.
Yeah, that would make sense actually.
So,
but also still could be a demon or something.
and no, I'm gonna say it couldn't be that either,
Yeah.
but it's not. It's definitely not her AI system anymore. So what you missed in episode 1, James, is the creation of Natalie was basically through Riri's desperation and depression. Is that it wasn't intended to be her.
Yeah.
She was using her own brain to create an AI, but because of her thoughts were on Natalie at the time.
Yeah, she fell asleep and started dreaming about the whole situation with her and all that stuff. How, that was, I think, when we got the backstory of what happened. So it created the AI kind of just out of happenstance, which is something I said last week. They really didn't play on it, but as talk about it as much. But doing that, mapping those brainwaves or something, usually would turn someone's mind to mush.
Yeah, well, they brought it up to episode 2 because Han Solo said it.
Yeah, that's right. So before we
want to go down to like the things we liked and didn't like of.
Let's do our general. We talked about Mephisto for a minute, but
I didn't talk about Mephisto for shit. Y'all just talked over me.
What else you got to say?
The first thing I want to say is it threw me off when he started using an American accent. It's like that. Why are you not? Because he goes into his actual accent later on.
Right.
When you have him when he's talking to Robin or Parker Robbins the second time, it's like, why didn't you just do that voice? I understand you're going for something, but either just keep the voice or I don't know.
I kind of felt like it was more like, because everything that he was doing was a manipulation at that first. He was talking like he was a local guy. He took him to a family restaurant, knowing that his dad, like it was all part of the manipulation. I think that honestly, like little subtle things like that with the scenes that he had, I loved because I loved it when he turned and was like, "Hey, look, motherfucker, like I got you now." He dropped he dropped the accent. He's like, "I don't need this anymore. I have already succeeded at the manipulation. You're mine now."
Yeah.
So
the only thing it said to me was because Parker was the one that had the demonic face in the fight with Riri at the end. With the fact that Mephisto didn't have any type of demonic look other than the blink you miss it spoon reflection, it almost said that the British accent was his devil form, and the American accent was his more trickster smooth form. Which is like, okay, that's
solid. That makes sense.
Like fucking Brits being the devil again.
Right.
I mean, have you seen American cinema? It's British people bad, man. Watch Star Wars. Get it.
That's all I know. Otherwise, no. The depiction of Mephisto was wonderful. I mean, you don't need an actual devil in this series.
Can we talk about the marketing in this movie? Like, why did I have to watch a fucking ad for White Castle and then a 6-episode ad for AI? Where it was like, I get it. You really want me to download that AI?
You want me to think AIs have real feelings?
Well, not just that. I would like to point out this AI and this 6 episodes did nothing, got in the way, bitched entirely, and then ditched out anytime they wanted to. I actually think this is a very good depiction of current AI in America. So fucking worthless. Congratulations, tech billionaires. You invested all your money in the dumbest shit anybody's ever done. Yay. You're lucky America's dying. Like, if America wasn't dying, we'd have real time to fucking piss in your face.
Oh,
we don't
America's
have
dead.
time to piss in your face. The boat's sinking.
America's dead. Officially tomorrow. Signed away tomorrow.
Yeah. Happy 4th, everybody.
But Mephisto being the underlying antagonist for this series was something I knew was taking place, and it was like everybody just seemed to think it was a rumor that it was taking place this entire time. But like that casting thing was confirmed years ago that he was playing Mephisto.
No,
I heard it was confirmed, but I didn't know it was going to be in the show. I didn't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know until yesterday.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I didn't know until yesterday.
It was specifically for this show that he was cast as Mephisto.
I don't believe that it was ever said that he was literally playing Mephisto. He was cast for this show, but I don't know that Disney or anyone from Marvel actually ever came out.
For 3 years, I've known that he was playing Mephisto.
Well, for 3 years.
Well, man, dude,
and for 3 years, my thought process was, how are they introducing him into this series? And then when I started seeing the previews for this series, like, where's Mephisto fitting into this, or do they cut him out now entirely?
Yeah.
So I'm happy they didn't cut him out, and I'm fine with the way they used him. It's just that it wasn't a thing that was surprising to me. Because the other thing I made mention last week is that if they didn't show him by the end of episode 5, there might be a problem, and I can forgive them because they did it at the very start of episode 6 and didn't save it till the end. Because that would have been a waste of the character altogether. But they kept him throughout the entire last episode.
That's what I thought we were getting, because that is Marvel's MO. We're going to give you a little taste at the end. And I was like, dude, this show is not good enough to give me a taste. You give me a taste, I'm going to pee in your face. And so it's like, I was glad something happened. It was like, hey, something's happening.
And that's why I said that. It's like, if he's not there by the end of episode 5, then I don't think it's going to be worth it. But I can kind of forgive it because it immediately started out with it. So
then,
what's her name? What's her name who called about? Was it Rebel Wilson?
Rebel Wilson? What about Rebel Wilson?
What about
Didn't she have a book where she said fucking Borat like molested her or some shit? What was that?
That's right. She did say.
Is this going to turn into a Kang dynasty? Is what I'm asking.
Yeah, maybe he's out.
How many Kang dynasties must we go through, Marvel? How many King dynasties must a man walk through before you cancel that fucking man?
They delayed it so they could bring it back. People will forget by then.
They waited it out to see.
Doomsday isn't happening until much later, so they can start bringing them back again.
They're
gonna bring back Kane? Oh, that'd be awesome.
So, what are your general feelings on this? I guess.
Unfortunately for me, episodes 4, 5, and 6 do not live up to my love and hype of episodes 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, I've never seen and probably will never see at this point in life. But episode 3 had did you guys mention the title is a ghost reference from the 1990 film Ghost?
We didn't mention that, but yeah.
We in trouble, girl.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, and I got really excited. And then it was a Blossom episode, except every now and again magic showed up, which is just like a Blossom episode, minus Joey, who we all know was the magic. So we were thinking it's fine. The way he would say whoa. I know, see right there. Like we all remember it. What good times. What good times, folks.
Only we remember.
I also remember the debut of his music video one special Thursday night.
That's 90s, right. Oh my god. Yeah. Dude, that was a thing for a while. Bart got a music video. Joey got a music video. Alf didn't, but he wanted one.
Jesse and the Beach Boys from Full House. Kokomo.
Yeah. So, what we're saying is, television has always been shit and horrible. So don't judge it too hard.
Yeah.
The Ironhearts aren't that bad when you look at it through a much bigger lens. Yeah. I really did not like episodes 4 and 5, and I really liked episode 6. So it was like, her hardships and watching her kind of go through it, and a lot of exposition that felt clunky and not natural. So, and also it was like, I get she's the flawed hero, but I haven't seen you save a motherfucking bird. Like, so it's like all we're doing, like we when we talk about like people dealing with trauma and stuff like that, you can just watch a show about somebody dealing with trauma. That's fine. But if it's a superhero thing, then we get kind of I think it's a very important story because what we're talking about is soldiers with shell shock is actually what we're talking about in the bigger picture, which the two characters that I've always said I would really like to see like deal with trauma, one would be Captain America because that would be interesting, I always thought, and the other one would be Hulk, not Bruce Banner, but Hulk dealing with trauma. I always thought those two lend in the Marvel comic book universe to the most interesting. Maybe Galactus dealing with trauma. I would be interested in seeing that shit. That'd be kind of cool. But everybody else, it's going to be kind of basic bitch. I was excited about Iron Man 3 when I went into it because I was like, wow, you guys.
Eating disorder.
Yeah, can't eat it all. So. Everything smells bad. Like everything stinks. Like he's a galaxy stinks. Yeah. But I got excited for Iron Man 3 because the idea that Tony Stark, who, you know, at that point, right after Avengers, had flown into another galaxy with the nuclear warhead and then killed maybe billions of aliens. I don't know. And then like fell to home and woke the fuck back up by Hulk screaming in his face. Like I was like, if anybody's going to be fucked up, it's probably Tony Stark. And then Iron Man 3 was one of the worst Marvel movies ever made, like comically ever made, where it was like there's so many plot holes and so many logic holes and so many character holes that you're like, it's not even anything anymore. So, yeah, and this, I'll say this, these episodes are better than Iron Man 3. Yeah, so we got that going for us.
Hooray!
Flip that.
First, I'd like to just mention that since you haven't seen episodes 1 and 2, it gives a little more of her backstory as to her problems and everything else like that.
Has she saved anyone?
No, she didn't say anyone. You don't need to go back and watch it. I'm just letting you know.
She's not a flawed hero. She's just a flawed human. We're just watching. We're watching Dexter, who's lazy here. Like
flawed genius. That's not a philanthropist.
She's house, but more interesting. But she doesn't care. What are we watching here? Why is it just a flawed human?
I would also like to point out to our audience at home or whenever you watch it that at this point James Cope has still not seen Thunderbolts.
Yeah, I'm drunk. Which is completely, I got that going for me.
Which is completely relevant to his rant that he just had about flawed humans and suffering through PTSD.
All right, that's good to know. Those are good notes. Thank you.
Because that's literally what that movie's about. Which is why
I did not buy a ticket to Thunderbolts because I have my ticket stub for Doctor Strange 2, Thor: Love and Thunder, Marvels. God, what was the other shithole? What, like I Ant-Man in Quantum Universe. I have all my ticket stubs from those Marvel, and I want to refund. Okay, and no refund, no Thunderbolts. You're getting me on Fantastic Four, and you're getting, and I don't even like Jack Kirby as much as everybody fucking else. I think he was overrated. Yeah, overrated Jack Kirby is what I called him in my house, not King Kirby. And I'll still watch the shit out of that because his you guys don't even have his Silver Surfer. And we're all going to let that shit slide for now. Unless the movie sucks and we were not letting it slide. But the Jack Kirby Silver Surfer, yes, look it up.
On you in an instant, as always.
As always. But I'm still going to buy it. Like, I'm actually excited to see Superman. I'm actually excited to see Fantastic Four. I was not excited to see Ironheart. And it's fine what I watched, but it is hit or miss, man. It's been tough. Yeah. I hear Thunderbolts is great. Everybody loved it, but it's been too long of a desert. Not all of us made it to the.
2 more weeks.
So, yeah, it's coming out soon. Yeah, Thunderbolts is the anti-superhero movie.
All right.
It seems like a lot of their stuff is anti-superhero.
Well, now
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, absolutely. But that seems to be what Phase 5 is. If we're still in Phase 5, I have no idea what phase we're in right now.
Yeah. Well, and Marvel's always kind of leaned on that in the comics too. Like it's all flawed humans that have powers.
Yeah.
and whether they're going to make good decisions. Sometimes they're going to make bad decisions. You know, so many characters flip flop from being good guys and bad guys.
Yeah.
So
Riri Williams, but in this series, I don't know if she's a good guy.
Yeah.
Actually, that's why episode 6 saved so much for me by the end. I was like, man, flawed here. I was watching it. I was giving commentary like fucking to me. And I was like, flawed superhero. Just no fucking super or hero. Yeah, you can build an Iron Man suit. Fucking do something with it. Yeah. I hide in it. God damn it. Like, Jesus. Like, fucking, it's like the laziest of lazy all the way around. And I was like, she's not been a hero the entire time. She's hanging out with criminals. She's helping steal stuff. She's making excuses. She won't listen to her fucking mom, and your mom is trying way too hard.
They will tell on her.
It's almost like she's a 15-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. It's like, she's acting like a teenager.
Too much.
But she's not 15.
But
she's not 15 in here.
No, she's older than this, but in the comic she's 15.
Yeah. But we get it. She's still a teenager making those dumb young decisions. We got that. But as it was with Miss Marvel, that ran better with this. Like with this one, it seems to be already higher stakes in place for.
Yeah, well, she doesn't look like a teenager at all. Is a big thing. Miss Marvel, it was believable she was a teenager because she was actually a teenager.
I think Riri's now 19 or 20.
Yeah, I think in the show, but the actress
in the show.
What?
Oh no, she's
7.
Yeah, she's older than that. But I'm saying at least, but she's not playing 15. She's playing at somebody who's 19 or 20 at least. So.
Yeah, and I don't know that was the right move. I think I would have much rather seen them get someone that could play at 15.
Well, the problem is that they had set this up.
Yeah, a long time ago.
3 years ago,
and stuff like that. I get what happened.
Well, no, COVID happened, but I mean, beyond COVID, Disney just decided to stop. We all thought it was gone. We all thought Ironheart wasn't going to be released, and then when they did their slate showing in February, whatever it is, what they showed.
This a long time ago, so
a lot of it was shot a long time ago. Yeah. Like Eric Andre. Oh, you missed Eric Andre. Eric Andre was in an episode for 5 seconds.
He was kind of his picture.
I heard, and they got rid of him.
Yeah.
He's all right.
Yeah, I just don't. I agree with you. There's not much heroing going on at all.
But then we got to the end and she fucking made a deal with the devil. I was like, I don't think we were. And then my fucking Southern Belle came out and I was like, I don't think we've been watching the hero, Mr. Cope. So this is like, were we watching a show about somebody kind of going into their villain phase?
Yeah,
which
I guess so, but I don't know.
I think the difference they're trying to show in the end with her was that, unlike Parker, who made the deal for himself, Riri made a deal knowing who she was making a deal with. Mm-hmm. And
tell all the teenagers with college debt. This ain't gonna work. It's like it doesn't work like that. You just inherited $4 million in college debt. Like that's how the Mephisto works.
It's not gonna work. But if they continue on with her in any way, shape, or form, it'd probably be a little more interesting that she's going to try to devise ways to trick Mephisto and somehow get out of her own deal.
Hey, let's be honest.
Yeah.
So
we're not seeing another Ironheart.
We're not. I'm not the series. The character
with a bunch of other heroes someplace else at best.
Yeah.
I'm for that. I'm sorry. I don't think Miss Marvel, and I think you guys proved it, doesn't deserve her own series. I don't know that, Ironheart deserves her own series, but we can have a Marvel series. Yeah. We can just have a series where we're kind of like dealing with different, because episode 6 was really good, I thought. And the rest of the episodes were, I loved 1, 2, and 3, but I did not really care for 4 and 5. And we see this a couple of times where things are just kind of padded. They all exist in the same world. We already have cameo. Might as well just
circles a little bit because it felt like it was just the same issues over and over with no real, neither. Well, just no real resolution at all throughout. And
but it's
she
like
didn't really learn anything in this series either.
But that's what did Man Thing learn in Werewolf by Night? Like, who's to say?
Don't go near the humans.
But it wasn't called Man.
Don't go near the humans, man. That's what we're talking about.
He learned something.
I'm glad we didn't get like a 22 season order, but even
No.
6 felt too much for this.
Yeah.
I think they really
They
should
go to they should take a Werewolf by Now. Werewolf, that was an hour, right?
Right now,
That
yeah.
was an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do an hour little thing to introduce your characters. Find out which ones the people like, then start adding them to your other shit. Or if people are just blown away by the story of this one, then consider developing a show around them.
Which is funny because that's how Marvel Comics started, which was it was a Fantastic Adventures and stuff.
Yeah,
it could be anything.
But the thing with this series is this series was based around that. Riri being in the second Black Panther movie, they had something to.
We could go back to that. That was nonsense, and she was the MacGuffin, and it was.
She was, but I'm saying it was something they left off of to continue her in the series. It's the fact that they pulled out everything and did a full stop that causes problems for this particular series.
Sure, because this should have came out right after.
Yeah, or not, or a couple months after.
Literally, dropped 2 weeks after Black.
Well, it should have dropped in the summer after Black Panther 2 came out.
Whatever it should have.
Yeah, but
you have to capitalize on it. But I don't think it mattered. It would have mattered in the end, and maybe that was their call on it. Was like, we've already shot most, if not all, of this. We're gonna kind of step back and retool because that was around the time that they were.
James Cope has disappeared.
And then, is James gone? Hello?
Yeah, he does that.
Huh?
He likes to disappear sometimes.
Oh, okay. But I think, there he is.
Hey, he's back.
I went into the booze verse where everything was alcohol.
He went into the Phantom Zone.
Happy 4th.
Which Phantom Zone depends which movie you watch.
But
now he's frozen.
I forgot what I was saying. They dropped the ball in Black Panther. I don't think that they made anyone excited about that character in that movie. You know what I mean? So again, you have much lower stakes just to do an hour story about this character, give people a little bit of origins, and and then just give an adventure with that character and who they are and what they're like. One of their fucking villains.
For me, this is no different than Kenobi. It's no different than so much of it, where it's like, man, had you just given me 2 hours of this, I would have liked this a lot more. And I know you're trying to get the views and clicks. We're already there. Gosh dang it. People are watching your horrible Snow White movie on your dumb app. Knock it off. All right. Like, less is more. Let's try a little harder.
Yeah, I think
let's pull
Disney
up them bootstraps.
made money last year for the first time off of that app. So you're doing good.
Well, I mean, they essentially did drop 2 episodes because they dropped 2 sets of 3.
Okay.
I'm going to say overall, I for the most part enjoyed this series overall, but yes, it was long. One thing I noticed in watching this was these episodes were running around 50 minutes, 45, 50 minutes. The last one was only about 30-something to get taken out the credits.
Yeah.
As opposed to other series that had episodes that long, this felt long for the episodes. There was a lot in every episode, and it felt long. And I was like, "Are we sure this is only?"
Go back and watch one episode of Secret Invasion. Just go back and watch one. No. They were all 50 minutes. Yeah, I know. No. Nobody will. So, thanks, Secret Invasion, for being a bottom no one can hit. Like, good Lord, you will. They will always be elevated a little bit because of you.
Ever watching that show again?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, there's probably a lot of stuff they could have cut out of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. The problems I had with the series were we threw in an AI, we threw in this concept of this self-developed AI, and we kind of got rid of that. We didn't really want to develop. We didn't want to give an answer to the question.
We fucking magicked it away, and that was that. That was like, all right, they're gonna have a good explanation. No,
there's a lot of things in this that again I still feel had to do with the Armor Wars movie or show that they're gonna do. There's these little things that pop up here and there that it feels like it's supposed to lead to something that we're probably never gonna see.
Well,
Yeah.
but apparently, I'm guessing Mephisto has to be in more. Otherwise, why would they drop this series in the end?
Yeah, no. If there's
Either
anything
Mephisto or Ironheart's going to show up in something else because there's no reason to have this series still go on.
Parker and that girl, she's from the
Zaya?
comics too,
Yeah.
Zaya or whatever, and Ezekiel Stain, like all those characters, I did not like any of them.
No.
Like, I would love to see all of them in some way, shape, or form something else that's better. You know what I mean? Because they're, you know, they're all pretty much interesting characters. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I actually didn't mind. I didn't mind the lame reveal of it's fucking Big Lebowski's kid, and I was like, oh, it's Little Lebowski. Little Lebowski's here to fucking fight him, and I got excited about that. But I didn't mind it, and like it wasn't bad. Like how they used them. How they used them was very plot devicey, but it wasn't bad. Like at least it was. I have to work for the bad guys. Program me. The only way to shut me off is to kick me in my nuts. And I was like, did the fucking South Park guys write this episode? Like, it's like, you know, normally when you're that goofy and on the nose, you know, it's not. We shouldn't take you seriously anymore. Yeah, but I didn't mind him. Like, I was like, yeah, I didn't mind the bad guys. The group of fucking. Yeah, the crew of bad guys that was just right up there with hackers as far as just assemble some.
Hey,
make sure they look different enough, and they each get one sassy thing to say, and we're good. Like
they did more than any of the cast did in the movie Hackers. So,
like they were trying. They all look differently. They all like I like that. That it was like, oh, we're gonna. I don't know. In the 80s, when we had movies with gangs, there was always some gang that tried to like do like a different character for each one. Warriors are great. Escape from New York. There's a lot of good ones, but like this was up there with that. Where I was like, yeah, each one of those actors in the gang took their fucking role comically seriously. And whoever casted them was perfect. Like everybody's gonna look different than the last one. You all need to look like your own sort of thing. So, but yeah, the cast was fine. It was just kind of like, I know I love those first 3 episodes, but the other 2 are just like a lot of them talking about stuff, but not necessarily doing stuff. And when they did do stuff, it kind of felt a little forced.
Yeah, this is definitely the least actiony Marvel anything.
Yeah,
you know, that isn't bad.
Well, the suit stuff, like. She didn't really have much to do with her suit until the very end, and it was
she used it.
So leaned upon that she needed
Iron Man 3. It's Iron Man 3,
and they were like, "You gotta have this suit," and then the next mission, you can't use your fucking suit for this mission. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you know, they didn't give her much to do. They just didn't give her much to do.
It's the problem. It's why. It's why the Galactus fucking dealing with trauma movie works, and the Ironheart dealing with trauma show doesn't work as well, or Iron Man. Is because what you're saying is they're so scared and they're dealing with their trauma, so they have to hide in their costume, which we get that. We understand that. That is a great understanding point. But if you're going to go with the standard storytelling, then that means they need to leave the armor for the 3rd act. Which means our superhero movie now has a lethal weapon star, where it's like, no, now they're just a cool cop with a gun,
right. And all of a sudden,
not at all what I bought a ticket
this
for.
Person who we don't know that they have any fighting skills at all are fighting the 2 top fighters from the gang and beating the shit out of them, no problem. When we just watched them in 3 different episodes, just tear through security guards and all, like, you know, they're totally outnumbered every time. Yet this little girl right here,
she had eaten her White Castle. Which you young viewers, if you get nothing else from this show, get that White Castle makes you strong and smart.
That's right.
Go eat their shitty, horrible, fucking should have been aborted burgers, and you will be smarter and stronger like that Ironheart check that cleared.
Hey, those burgers are created by AI, James.
There you go. AI burgers.
They truly are. Those
AI burgers.
Those robots making burgers are really in there. It's really in there.
I was on the 101 up to San Francisco, and all the billboards were about AI companies, and I was like, "God damn it, it's gonna fail so bad!" Like, it's like as soon as you start seeing that shit, it's gonna be in your Happy Meal. Your fucking Happy Meal is gonna come with a little AI buddy. It's like it's so fucking sad.
That's
And it
James
sucks.
deflecting, so you don't figure out that he's AI. And he always has been
Dun
on
dun
the show.
dun.
Dun, dun,
Well, there's
dun.
there's the
Yeah.
there's the MIT AI you love so much in the first episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the first couple episodes.
So
And
is
that
there,
third episode, dude, I'm telling you, I think I can find that Blossom episode and do match for match.
do
This,
it.
I saw
They love
Sinners.
to do
I have a lot more respect for the director of Sinners because he came out in an interview recently because everybody
Ryan
loves Sinners
Coogler?
and
Coogler?
well, it's because I was thinking about it today. Is he said he was very inspired from Dusk Till Dawn. To me, and I was like,
No shit.
"Thank you," because
Oh,
it is
no.
literally plot for plot.
I will-
Dusk Till Dawn. It is, but it's still a really good movie.
I will be seeing that this weekend.
I gotta go see the new 28 Years Later,
Yeah.
and I hear there's zombie dong all over the place, slapping you in the face.
Yeah.
All right. That sounds like it.
that.
I'm sorry.
Zombie dong.
Infected dong.
Oh,
Dog. How dare
ooh.
I?
There
How
you
dare
go.
I, you sons
That's
of
much more
bitches?
appetizing. Let's just go back to calling it zombie dong.
Go back to zombie
Yeah,
dong.
zombie dong
Sure.
sounds way more appetizing. Is there anything else that you guys want to
Nah.
talk about specifically, or should we go on to
Nah,
rating?
we go rate this.
All right, let's rate it, and then we will talk about.
I don't like
what we're
summer,
doing
and I'm
next week.
excited for Christmas.
Yeah, if we were only in Australia, you know what I mean? It would be winter. I'll rate this first. I don't remember what I rated it.
3. We both rated 3.
I think I'm going to stay at 3.
Gonna hold.
You'll have to click him on his eyeball on over there, probably. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give it a 3 still. Like I definitely didn't hate this, and there's definitely good stuff throughout, characters, Mephisto, all that stuff like that. But you know, it's just okay.
Can't get
It's
it
just
on
okay.
that one for some reason.
Hmm.
Let me see if I can transfer.
That's okay. You don't have to put up the things. We could just say it.
I'll let
Okay,
Matt
cool.
be the last one here.
All right,
It's
cool.
funny enough for these 3 episodes and for the series, I'm giving it a 3 because it was 2. It was my classic 2 because I was hating on it and I was like, "You 2 piece of shit." My lowest rating 2s.
Also, your highest.
And I was
right?
like, and this show, it's got all those fake reviews on Rotten Tomatoes talking about how great it is. Oh, that's a website of lies. And so I was just like, fuck this. And then we got to the last episode, and I really liked a lot of the swings. They took some swings in the last episode, and I dug it, man. And I would have gone more. I would have got had he fucking shown up just in full devil outfit, even if they went like fucking dollar store devil, I don't give a shit. Like, come in, have a slice of pizza with me. Me's the devil. What are you gonna do, huh? Mario. I was gonna go to Italy this year, so you know it's a little Italian
You're
for you guys.
practicing?
All right, 3
Good
out of
job.
5. How you doing?
I'm gonna go 3.5.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah. This show had a lot of things. A lot of good things that they didn't do anything with. And that was its biggest problem. It's like a lot of interesting concepts, a lot of interesting characters. Just didn't fully put it together into a cohesive thing. And I wonder if this is the same show that they shot, or if they did went back and did anything else with it or not.
They didn't hear a lot about any
Yeah.
reboots, or you didn't really hear much about this show. Like, they
So-
said, not at all.
So this year,
Did we lose
or
James?
through last
Or did
year-
we just give him a drink?
Okay, hey, James.
James is
Stop
drinking.
that.
James is drinking, and James is the hood. God damn it, James!
He was holding his breath.
They're bringing the
Snyder
hood.
cut.
Holding his breath and just, I could disappear now. I'll be there.
Snyder cut.
The last 2 years, I think, at least this year, we've had 3 series so far. We've had Spider-Man, if you're friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, Daredevil, and Daredevil Born Again, and this. Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man and this didn't get much advertising at all.
No.
You got trailer for it, and that's about it. Disney didn't really push it. Daredevil they pushed because that's the thing everybody wanted for forever. But even that they didn't push as much as you would have thought they would have.
Yeah. Well, they're obviously backing off of the TV stuff a lot more than
they are.
They were pushing everything really hard.
But they still have another 3 series coming out this year.
So they
I
have
think it is.
Wakanda one.
Eyes of Wakanda comes out in August.
They have Wonder Man.
Wonder Man, which comes out in December, and then they have Marvel Zombies, which is supposed to be out in October. As far as I know, still
Fries of Wakanda, but they never called me back.
Well, they definitely were advertising Eyes of Wakanda on this series because
before every episode, and Ryan Coogler's involved in this episode, so I'm sure he's involved with Eyes of Wakanda as well. But it's like they've been tailoring back, and yet last year, Echo was pushed so fucking much.
Mm-hmm.
Secret Invasion was pushed up until the point it premiered, and then they stopped advertising.
Right.
No, actually, no, it didn't. They still did it in commercials because they still paid for those commercials, and those commercials still ran months later. But it's like they have a lot of TV still going on, but they're not selling that.
Yeah, but are they afraid that they're a mess? Then is that?
I don't know. I don't know. That's the thing, because Spider-Man was great.
I thought Spider-Man.
Daredevil was really good.
Yeah. And this was
some of the other seasons were better, but this was mediocre. So it's like
X-Men '97 was amazing. Like that was amazing. But I don't know that any film studio knows what they're doing right. The whole industry's dying. It's fine.
No one knows what's going on.
Like, what are you gonna do? Make some goofy shit before you go out.
Yeah, no one. We talk about it a ton on this show, but it's like no one. There's so many diverse formats out there that will work. There's such a diverse group of them that will work. But they only work with certain things or stories or how, I think you have a lot of freedom on how you tell a story now, but Marvel just hasn't got a lot of people haven't got it, but Marvel especially hasn't got it. Star Wars hasn't got it.
I think all the studios are it's like Flash was a mess. Flash was a fucking pile of garbage, and we had to hear James Gunn come out and fucking do soft shoe dance for us to go watch it. And it's like, dude, we've been through the Flash, we've been through the Secret Invasion, we've been through and I don't know if any of the studios know what really they're doing. They're trying to survive, and they're willing to do that fucking any cheap shot that they can fucking get in or try to get some money on something. So it's like, as always, this is media for profit. Some of your media for profit's pretty good, and some of it's fucking unwatchable. Yeah. Like I think it should be eye-opening to everybody working on any Disney project. One of the number 1 and 3 thing that everybody's always viewing on Disney Plus is the fucking Simpsons and some fucking show called Bluey, which I don't even fucking know what that shit is, but it's for children.
Yeah,
sure. So it is. That's just how it works. Man, what was it? Pixar, what was their new one? Elio? They fucked around Elio so much he turned straight. Like it was a gay character at the start, not by the end. It's like I think all the
that was Riley in Inside Out too. Elio was autistic.
There you go. Yeah, exactly.
Elio was autistic, and then you see the movie, and no, he's not autistic at all.
Oh Lord.
Mm-hmm. His parents died. That's his issue. Is his parents died.
That's every Disney story.
No, I know, but
I was about to say,
the whole advertisement was that he's an autistic character. But like when you see the movie, it's like, nope, it's just trauma.
Oh well.
Yep.
Good job, Disney. All right, let's talk about what we're going to be doing next week, because we didn't have a show to watch, but
now we do. Thank you, Netflix. We're going down that rabbit hole of seeing what works again in terms of release schedules for shows. Sandman Season 2. Sandman Season 1 was a wonderful show. It started
fucking blew me away.
It started out okay, and then it just got better. I was like, all right, cool. Yeah. So I'm sold on this already to watch it.
Neil Gaiman, man,
but
he
we're
just
getting-
grabs those words and makes them do whatever he
That's right.
wants. Like, if you're a beautifully written sentence, get the fuck away from Neil Gaiman. He's gonna grab you, and man,
grab you
he's
by
gonna
the
make it
paragraph.
work. If you're a paragraph, if you even like, hey, be careful with your words of consent. If you're a paragraph around Neil Gaiman that's well written, he'll grab you.
Let's be honest. Nobody may be on the air next week anyway. America's gone to shit.
Yeah,
So
we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's all right.
We'll see if anything exists anymore. But yeah,
So we're getting the first.
Congratulations
6
to everybody to making it towards the end.
There you go.
first six dropped today. We're going to talk about the first 3.
All right.
right.
Then the week after that, we got Superman.
Superman.
Then the week
Yeah.
after that, we got the next 3 episodes of Sandman. The next set comes out on the 24th, but we got some important Fantastic Four to talk about.
That's right.
So we'll come
Hopefully.
back. We'll come back, finish off Sandman, and they'll have a bonus 6 episode a week after they release the last 5. I don't know why it's not just part of the series, but whatever. Because the last time they released a bonus episode was released a year after
Yeah, it was weird.
something, which is fine because the story was so detached from the rest of it for the most part that it was fine that it didn't release with it. But the bonus episode is supposed to be about everybody's favorite character from the first season, which is Death.
Excellent.
So.
Well, I'm really looking forward to it. I didn't even know that it came out today.
I didn't realize until I saw some on it. I was like, oh shit.
So that's definitely what I'm going to do tonight after the show. Get started on that. I really hope we get a reprisal of emo James for next week. So
I'll do my best. I'll do my best.
Robert Plant going to show up to
yeah.
our show?
excellent. I'll see if I can find some
my
emo
God.
clothes to wear too.
If a show is really good, I feel so moved to then bring in props. Like, this show was good enough. I'm bringing in props and makeup. So what you don't see from the audience point of view, I'm in a garage surrounded by costumes, wigs, and makeup because my wife is a high school drama teacher, and over the years has collected a lot of shit. That shit ends up in the garage, where also ends up the little recording booth I got set up. So I'm literally surrounded by. I'm an ex-theater kid surrounded by costumes, wigs, and masks.
Yeah,
It's hard not to try these on, and then we get a Last of Us.
Yeah.
I want to say that you're partially full of shit because half that shit's yours and you know it.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. But I can push the buck a little. I can push the buck a little.
It's all my wife.
Drama teacher.
Yeah.
That's why he.
It's all my wife. Yeah,
That's why.
That's why.
That's why.
That's the
not
reason.
like I saw it at a store and I bought it for myself.
No,
that was
not
never
right.
Your Honor.
Just your wife is travel
Yeah,
agent.
Your Honor. No one said that, Your Honor. Please review the transcript. There you go.
The last time we reviewed this, you kind of dressed like a cross between what's the dude that did the Campbell Soup? What's the old artist dude that did the Campbell Soup one? What's his name?
Andy Warhol.
Andy Warhol and
Robert
the
Plant.
manager of the Undertaker from back in the day, Paul Bear.
Nice.
That's what I would say it was.
What was?
Fair.
Paul Bear.
Oh,
Fair.
okay, then.
All right, fair.
Yeah, the Paul Bear. Randy Savage, we will come for you. So like
He
that
had
sort
that
of thing.
voice
He
too.
did. No, he did.
Well, dude.
No, James didn't have that voice.
James did a little bit
No.
of that voice.
No, James went French.
No, he went French for something else. We watched something else that he
happens.
went French for.
What
No,
we were
no,
talking
no,
about
it's
was
French
Fat
rock.
Albert canceled with Bill Cosby because that doesn't feel fair. That doesn't feel fair to the Fat Albert legacy. That we can't Fat Albert our Fat Albert anymore. Was that what we were talking about?
Yeah, we were talking about that was the beginning of the show or before the show. I don't know. I don't know where we are anymore. I do have one more bit of news that I heard today.
Okay.
It's boding well for us in the future for the series. Neil Druckmann announced that he's stepping away from working on the show.
Which show?
Last of Us.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Neil Druckmann, the guy who wrote and produced the 2 games that the shows were based off, is stepping away from the show.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay.
Well,
So, yeah.
probably a good move on his part.
yeah.
Probably a good move on his part. Not
So, and apparently
The
they
Last of Us, we can only go up from here. Like,
And
so
the-
let's hope for the best, everybody.
and apparently they haven't started shooting season 3 at all. So, yay!
We might not even get
What
it.
the fuck, guys?
Yeah, I know. So, yep.
Let's see. Well, it is the
Did
time to cancel.
Batwoman die on the cross for this bullshit? Like, come on. How many?
Yeah.
All right. Fine.
This is the season to be, collecting that insurance and just cancel shit. You know what I mean? So
Fucking Zaslav.
that's what happens. All right. Well, let's wrap it up then. We will be back next week for the first 3 episodes of Sandman season 2.
Yep.
I will have seen Superman by then.
Yes.
So I will come
Show up.
in and I will give a spoiler-free
Bullshit.
review of it. I will be spoiler-free. I will be spoiler.
I don't mind. First off, I don't mind spoilers. I'm one of the geeks that, like, when I hear rumors, I go right into the rumor. I need to know. I'm one of those. I don't mind spoilers.
I try not to, but I tend to.
I think anybody who watches the show, I'm sorry, wouldn't want spoilers, but
Yeah. But there's nobody watching, so it's fine. So
Yeah, we're good.
By the time they watch it, like after one of us dies and it's worth going back and looking at, you know what I mean? Like they'll know.
Our loved one was really problematic.
Yeah,
Aw.
Okay, so until next week, make sure that you like, subscribe, and follow us. Again, we will be brought to you by Print Goblins starting next week, so make sure that you check us out next week to take a look at these cool masks. I mean, look at them, man.
Oh, yeah, that was one other cool thing from the show. They actually showed what it looks like from the mask without the HUD.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
It looks like this.
Yes.
It looks just like what I see right now.
Yep.
All right, guys, until next week, I'm Smoking Phat J.
I'm Matt Christy.
And James Cope.
Peace.
Bye.
Nice.
Hmm. Indeed, it's smooth and sleek.